why is it that most of us react rather than lead? Now, what I mean is that when a relationship comes to an end, when she goes cold on you, most guys usually seek closure more than anything else. Think about it. It always happens in that manner. Usually, when a relationship comes to an end, or when a woman starts to detach or she goes cold, the first thing we do is we react. But what we don't realize is during the time we're seeking that closure, it becomes very, very evident that you have lost your entire frame. When I talk about frame, I'm talking about your emotional control. And it's not that you are seeking an explanation. It's not the explanation that you want, but it's what you really want out of the explanation, and that is emotional validation. And the fact that you are seeking emotional validation from the closure that you are looking for makes her push you even further away. Once she detaches emotionally, it's already done and dusted regardless of her still being with you physically. What many guys don't realize, us as men, we live our lives based on expectation. We live in expectation. So when she starts to walk away, the expectation we have, based on the fact that you treated her well, based on the fact that you were a good guy to her, the expectation that you usually have is that she should sit down, calmly give you the explanation that you want, and probably even say goodbye. But you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the respectful goodbye that you are looking for. You are not going to get the explanation that you are looking for, because she already knows that if she has to give you that explanation, you're going to want to fix things, but by then she's already done. That's the thing. So that's why she'll usually, if you are lucky, she'll give you an explanation, but an explanation that usually does not make sense at all. Women are not wired like men. We leave physically from the get-go. Their exit is very, very different. From the get-go, think about it. Have a look at all your breakups usually, or when a woman decides to go cold on you. So when I say they leave emotionally, she can break up with you 3 months before the actual breakup happens. That's how it usually works. So once you see that she is going cold, she's starting to distance herself from you, at that point, that's where you need to start realizing that it's already game over. By the time she comes to you and says, we need to talk, I can tell you now, she's not even breaking up with you at that point. What she's really doing is that she's bearing the relationship for what's left of it, regardless of how you feel. She's now trying to attract the guy that has the emotional control, who has his frame, who is within his emotions, but doesn't allow himself to be led by his emotions, but rather by logic. The mere fact that you are seeking closure and seeking emotional validation from her, it makes it very, very evident that you are being led by your emotions. And that is what she does not want. All right, understand this. So the closure you want from her, in the midst of telling yourself that I deserve an explanation, you're not going to get it. And you're not going to get it because for her, closure is just a luxury that she feels she's not obligated to give you. And the cycle continues until you understand that women are hypergamous in every way, shape, and form. So when you lose your emotional control, when you lose that frame, at that point that she's walking away, she's also showing you that hypergamy is not satisfied at all. It's very rare for women to explain their exits, because now explaining her exit requires her to feel guilt. So guys, you need to understand, the moment she goes cold, the moment she decides to detach from you, the best way to respond is to respond in silence. Now, you responding in silence doesn't mean that you are cold to her, but it shows that you are still grounded. It shows that you are still within your frame and you are not being dictated by your emotions. The reason for this is because you are not trying to resurrect something that is already dead. You can't be that guy who's seeking closure. Closure is one of the worst things you can ever seek in terms of the end of your relationship. Don't do that. Never ever do that, because when you do that, your whole entire emotional control is being removed. Your frame is being removed. You are making it evident that everything in terms of validation that you seek from her, it makes you feel like you're complete. You are no longer one within yourself.